Hello, my name is Eric Torres, and I have been a student under Vladimir Vasiliev for the past 18 years. And I'm looking forward to teaching you in the upcoming seminar on defense from all angles in Tokyo, Japan. And for today's lesson, I wanted to show you how to move with lightness. This is one of the topics we'll be exploring on the seminar in Japan. Beginning piece for our exercises, I will have my partner here. We're going to start with just walking. So when we start to walk, we need to see the feeling of our step and the feeling of our foot. So Sideshi will continue to walk forward and back. Notice he's barefoot and I'm wearing shoes. So for this application, it can be done with both. It's good to use both because you get a different feeling when you step with shoes and when you step barefoot. It's a good concept to apply to martial arts training because if you can feel the ground barefoot, you should feel it also when you wear a shoe. So when we step, we need to step feeling our toes, we need to step feeling the instep of our foot, the heel. We need to maximize the entire foot when we are barefoot because we have skin that we can feel. Inside our shoe, we feel texture. We feel the pressure of the shoe. We feel the pressure of the laces. And depending on the type of shoe, we feel the contour of it. Some shoes are meant for different purposes, so we step for that purpose, right? A soccer player will step differently than a basketball player. And a martial artist will step differently for all purposes because we need to move in any position, any direction. So we've been moving in one direction here, but while we step, we need to make sure that our whole body is relaxed, that we have no tension in our shoulders, we have no tension in our hands, we have no tension in our hips or lower back, because the idea is that we need to be able to eventually fall. And that's the second piece from this exercise. It's important to know that when we step, we're able to fall in any position. So if we've been walking forward and back, we need to be able to step sideways as well. Right? We step sideways. We know that this is a common position for many martial artists when they step back or when they shuffle with space between them. They have space, right? If a person is in this stance and they move forward, it's a different position they stand. If a person is jumping, it's a different position and feeling that their feet feel, right? In Systema, we need to apply any type of movement. So our movement with our feet should apply in any position, right? We need to also step in different places, from the outside of our foot to the inside of our foot. From when we step on our heels or toes. When we jump, we need to feel the same feeling of our feet. Right? When we lift our legs, we need to feel the same application when we step. Different feelings in our foot for different purposes. So as we start to walk, eventually we understand that there's more to our stepping. When we step with too much tension, we feel it in our knees. When we step with friction, our feet can get caught in the floor if we step with too much friction. If we step with too much speed, we could fall. So this next piece is understanding that when we step, we need to also understand that eventually we need to fall. So if we walk and we can fall, it's a good symbolization that we're stepping light. Lightness comes when we step and when we move and fall. Why it's important to fall is because when our body is moving in any direction and we're not able to control it, or if a partner is going to throw us, or we have a partner we need to throw to the ground, we need to know that the floor will not injure us. If we fall with tension, we can create a pain in our elbow, we can create damage in our hip, we can damage our spine, and sometimes we can even hit our head and damage something cerebral. So we need to understand that when we step, we carry our whole body in one structure. In Systema, we build our whole structure for lightness and for power. So again, we're just going to demonstrate for a few moments how we fall in different directions. And of course, the next step is also when the partner falls, he has to fall on me as well. If I fall, he has to fall on top of me as well. And I have to see if I can also fall on him. Right? He has to check if he can fall on me. Important to understand that when we fall, if we fall with tension, we can damage ourselves or the opponent, but we need to understand we can do this. For the next part of our lesson is the actual application. So we understand that when we step, we need to step light for our whole body. We understand that when we fall, we need to fall with lightness. So when he grabs me, and he puts me down, or tries to put me down, I need to know that I can fall with lightness. In the beginning, I need to understand that when I fall, it's for defense. My defense is just to relax. And slowly you'll see when he starts to work, your defense will allow you to move not from just your body, but from your feet. When he steps and he tries to put me down any which way, I move just from my feet. My escape and defense begins with just my feet. I will step different directions. I will jump, create a different position of movement for myself. Okay? And eventually, the actual work, when he starts to work, my movement will create already a position to work with him. Because he works and I step right away, my feet become an application of defense because I already use this position. My feet already applied for this position to work. Especially if we are wrestling, he grabs me. If my feet are tangled up on the ground like mud, we are both going to fight for who's stronger. But if he starts to work and my movement is already with my legs and not with his tension, then I'm going to work differently. I'm always going to apply a different type of style or a different type of defense than what he's used to. Especially if he's working on just tugging at my body and pulling me with force. So when he pulls me and tries to turn me, my application already works not from one position, but from double movements. Double movements, because I have the ability to move in different areas, different angles. So again, if he starts to work with me, I step with my legs, but my feet right away counter him. My feet work to apply. Especially if I will kick it and I will hit him right away. If he starts to punch me, see, I need to work right away from my fist, but I'm really working from my feet. My feet is what's working most because my power comes from the feet. I step, but I hit right away with my foot. So I step from this position, I have weight already. When I step, I feel already in my face. I can create something for him, right? And if I'm relaxed, right, I can relax him, right? He starts to work with me, and I don't need to work too much with him because he understands already the position, right? If he's more tense, I will hit more intense as well. But if he's light, he understands lightness. He already feels movement and direction. So both partners can work in this style because there's no injuries. There's no tension resistance. Any tension he gives me, I give it back to him. But he understands how to move and escape with lightness as well for defense. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in Tokyo, Japan.
Thank you.